The borders are open and I am ready to go. As of June 23rd, 2021, all I needed was my vaccination cards to travel to Paris from the US. So just a couple tips. I did withdraw some euros prior to my trip just in case I couldn't access an ATM. And I also purchased a SIM card from the airport for about 40 euros or $44 just so that I didn't have to worry about not having a way to communicate. Paris has some of the best public transportation and it's pretty easy to navigate. From Charles de Gaulle Airport, we purchased our RER train tickets to get into the city center where we will then connect to a metro line. Pro tip, if you're taking the metro, keep in mind that you will need to carry your luggage up and down some stairs, so be prepared and don't overpack. Otherwise, you can always take a taxi or Uber if you're unable to carry your own luggage. If you're taking the metro, be aware of pickpockets on the train. Carry your backpack or your purse in front of you, make sure your pockets are empty, and place wallets and valuables inside of your bag, and just be aware. We rented an apartment in the Strasbourg Saint-Denis neighborhood in the 10th arrondissement. Since we were staying for a week and there were 4 of us, we thought that an Airbnb would be a more cost-effective option. There were so many pros in staying in an Airbnb. Aside from the amenities and having access to everything you would normally have at home, you really feel like a local when you're staying here. And also, the terrace that we have was a plus. This apartment had 2 full bedrooms and 2 showers and 1 toilet. And it also had a full kitchen, a living room, and a dining room as well. The only downside is that we didn't have a front desk, but we did have a point of contact who only worked office hours. So if we had any questions, for example, our Wi-Fi was down, we weren't sure on how to use a washing machine, we had to wait until the next morning to get a response. There was also no AC in the apartment, but they had plenty of fans for us. For dinner, we headed to Bouillon Chartier. We came around 7:30 on Thursday and there was no line and we were seated right away. When we passed by the next day at around the same time, there was a huge line outside of the restaurant. There's an English menu available along with the French menu. The service was great. Our waiter was very entertaining. He was funny, he was friendly, and he explained the menu thoroughly to us. He even showed us how to eat escargot. And I'm so sorry that my camera is out of focus for the next couple of shots. I promise it will improve later on. What we liked about this restaurant was that it's in a historic building. The service was amazing. Everyone was very friendly. And of course, the prices are very affordable. However, the food was just average at best. So we don't recommend this restaurant. There's just so much better food in the city. We spent the rest of our evening walking along the Seine and exploring the Louvre, or the outside of the Louvre at least. And look at what 10 o'clock in Paris looks like. So magical. We booked this wine and cheese experience through Airbnb Experiences prior to our trip. It was 30 euros or $44 per person for 2 hours. And this includes 2 white wines, 2 red wines, 1 sweet wine, some French bread, and a charcuterie board for everybody. Erwan is the owner and the host, and it was such a fun, interactive, and educational class. As someone with zero knowledge on wine, I left feeling like I can swirl my wine like a true wine connoisseur. At the end of the class, you can also purchase any of the bottles that you tried, and I highly recommend this course for anybody visiting Paris. If you're staying in a rental or have access to a kitchen during your trip, go to the supermarket Picard to pick up some frozen meals. To me, it's like the French Trader Joe's. The entire market is full of frozen food with French and international options. We bought some savory crepes, eclairs, and ice cream, and it was all super tasty. For dinner, we walked over to Neku Ramen for some Japanese food. It's a very cute 2-story ramen shop. They have a small menu with ramen and some curry and karagi dishes. I ordered the Shio ramen chicken with a Tokyo spritz, the tonkatsu ramen, the chicken karaage curry, and the katsu curry. The food was okay. It was so hot and humid that day that I'm not sure if ramen was the best choice for dinner. So after dinner, we walked over to the Seine River for our cruise tour. There are so many different companies who operate the same type of tour, and we booked our tickets with Bateaux Parisienne. It was about 15 euros for the cruise with a commentary option. They have tours every hour, and we wanted to go in the evening so we could see the Eiffel Tower lit up.
Oh, yeah.
Ta-da! Pro tip, get in line early so you can beat the crowds and that you can get a nice spot up on top, like.
I highly recommend taking a cruise along the Seine to experience Paris from a different point of view.
If you want a good photo with the Eiffel Tower behind you, head onto this bridge and it frames it so perfectly.
All we wanted were some pastries on a Sunday morning. Many businesses are closed on Sundays. This was the fourth bakery that we tried to go to that was closed. So just be mindful when using Google because many of the operating hours posted are not accurate. Luckily, we stumbled upon this Tunisian restaurant, Chez Bob de Tunis. We ordered their specialty, which is the sandwich Tunisien, which had tuna and olives and pickled veggies, and it was so good and tasted like nothing we've ever had before. They also had a variety of fried pastries that we didn't know what they were, but we did order one of each, and they were all really good and savory. If you are in the Montmartre neighborhood, make sure you check this place out and order a Tunisian sandwich.
The moment I've been waiting for, souvenir shopping. I was in denial about the rain, thinking that once we left our apartment that the rain would stop. And here we are. But at least we can maybe go into these shops and spend some money.
After the rain stopped, we made it up to Sacre. Going inside the Basilica is free, so make sure you go inside and check out the Basilica while you were up there. After our visit to the Basilica, we walked over to Le Consulat to rest our feet and have some lunch.
We got a croque monsieur. And we also got an omelet. A very delicious beer.
Okay.
Come to Rue de Mont-Cenis because it has this really nice view that you can take some really pretty pictures.
We purchased our e-tickets to the Arc de Triomphe for 13 euros prior to our trip. Make sure you bring your vaccination card or a photo of your vaccination card or a proof of a negative test along with your ticket before you can enter. It was so much fun to go up to the terrace and get a 360 view of the city. The monument also has some smaller exhibits inside and a very impressive gift shop. For lunch, we headed over to Angelina Paris on Rue de Rivoli. I highly recommend making reservations as it was very busy on this Tuesday afternoon. Angelina is known for their beautiful pastries and hot chocolate. Because we were all so hungry, we ordered some of their savory dishes as well. As you can see, the portions are quite small. So if you come, I recommend skipping the savory dishes and just try all their pastries and teas and of course the hot chocolate. And can you believe I didn't even eat my first crepe until my 4th day in Paris? We found this stand along the Jardin des Champs-Élysées and I ordered a sucre beurre crepe, which is basically melted butter and sugar. Wow, yum. It was so delicious.
Is it good, Aline?
We had dinner at Madame Gen Bistro that night. We randomly found this bistro about 5 minutes from our Airbnb while we were just walking around searching for dinner. We ordered the house burger, the vegetable quiche, and the duck confit, which my brother said was 100 times better than the duck confit from Bouillon Chartier. Galeries Lafayette is one of the most famous department stores in Paris. We went to their flagship location on Boulevard Haussmann to see the glass and steel dome and also the Art Nouveau staircases. And of course, while I was there, I had to do a little bit of shopping as well. And if you ever find yourself at Galeries Lafayette, make sure you head up to the rooftop terrace for a view of the Eiffel Tower, Opera Garnier, Sacre, Coeur, and the Notre Dame. And best of all, it's free, free, free.
On our way back, we had to stop by the patisserie and we got some more pastries.
In order to get back into the US, I had to take a COVID test 72 hours before my departure flight. Luckily, most pharmacies in Paris had test stations set up. The test was 25 euros for non-French citizens. It was pretty easy to register. I scanned a QR code with my phone and answered a couple questions. After that was complete, I paid for the test and waited for my turn, and the results were emailed to me within 20 minutes. My favorite thing about the neighborhood that we stayed in was all the diverse restaurants around us. For dinner, we went to Daily Syrien for some Syrian food. This location was small, but they also have a larger restaurant within walking distance. We ordered a meze plate, a kibbeh wrap, a chicken shawarma, and a beef shawarma. And of course, a light and refreshing Lebanese beer as well. For food, price, and service, 10 out of 10, highly recommend, and we would definitely go back if we're in Paris again. And of course, I needed to end my day with a glass of white wine on my Parisian terrace. Today is our Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no, 5th day here. We are going to Versailles today. It is the first day that it shouldn't be raining. We have tickets at 10 a.m. so we are going to head to the metro. I think it's supposed to take us like an hour, or there's some delays in the route, so I think an hour and 20 minutes. So we will see you in Versailles. Bye. This is the 11:30 line, which is a little bit longer, and then that line over there is for the next time slot, which is at 12. Also, I do believe it's mandatory that you do buy a ticket and select a time that you want to come into the chateau. So we got in no problem, even though we were an hour and a half late to our time. The line went by really quickly, even though it looks really, really long. Make sure you bring your headphones so that you can use it with the app. Download the app ahead of time, and it's going to have an audio guided tour for you. Just want to tell you guys that it's very tiring and exhausting to be in this place. I'm all historyed out. My brain can't handle all this history. So it's time for a photo session in the garden. Adorbs! So cute. Alright, we're thirsty and we're hungry, and the first thing that we see is a La Durée cart. So we had to get an espresso, and then we also got a macaron and a sorbet that I will show you guys in a second. Isn't this so cute though? So precious. Here is our strawberry sorbet, or what the French call sorbet plus, with the little macaron on top. We ordered the macaron called Le Majestic. We have no idea what flavor this is, but it's blue. Of course, when you travel with a family of 4, each person only gets 1 bite. So. Tastes like tea. It's different. It's unique. La Majestic. Make sure you bring your walking shoes and be prepared to spend an entire day at Versailles. We purchased the passport ticket, so we had access to the chateau, the gardens, the Grand and Petit Trianon, the Queen's Hamlet, and the park. We were all too hungry and too tired to row a boat, but if you want to, there are boats to rent that you can row around in the little lake. Pro tip, pack a lunch or purchase some food from one of these stands and have a picnic along the lake.
Hello from Grand Trianon. Let's go inside and see what this place is all about. You can also rent a car if you don't want to walk. FYI. We're on our way to the last stop in Versailles, which is the Petit Trianon. We already went to the Grand Trianon. It's a little bit of an art exhibit too. Take a look at these. This rabbit's having an exorcism. it's
If you're starving after your day at Versailles and cannot wait another hour until you get back into the city center to eat, then go to Rue du Satori. This street is a 10-minute walk from Versailles and has many options to choose from.
Of course, we needed an Aperol Spritz. And for me, I got a gin detox.
Santé.
Our crepes have arrived. I will put the name. I forgot what this one was called. Oh, it's called the Versailles. It has like a poached pear. It has walnuts. It has ham, and then it has cheese on the inside. And this is the Petite Chef. And it's like tandoori chicken with caramelized onions and cheese. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, and for dessert, we got two sweet crepes. We got the bleu noir, which is a homemade caramel sauce with a peached pear. And then what did you guys get?
Ours.
Glass, which is
ice cream.
Vanilla ice cream with like Nutella and caramel.
And caramel sauce.
Yep. I forgot to mention there's like butter on here as well too. Oh my god, look at that. With the pear. Okay, let's put everything on there.
Caramel sauce is so good.
I know, it tastes like a Werther's.
Yeah, it does. That's what it tastes like.
All right.
Ooh, that butter.
We're back, baby. We're back at Restaurant Ella, Turkish, Greek, and Kurdish. And it's on Saint-Denis. My God, look at all this yummy food. Too bad I'm full of McDonald's. Dad got some Turkish coffee, and it comes with a little Turkish delight. Isn't that precious? Here we have some lentil soup and some bread. Good morning. It's our last day in Paris. We have a lot of things we need to do today because we are catching up on things we couldn't do in the last 5 whole days that we've been here.
Tickets to Chapelle were 12 euros each, and this Gothic chapel is well known for its stained glass windows of biblical scenes. My favorite part of this chapel was that it's pretty small, so you only need about an hour here to really see everything. Next up, we headed over to Notre Dame. Unfortunately, it's still closed since the 2019 fire, but it's definitely still worth visiting, even if it just means admiring it from the outside.
All right, so we came here to Berthillon, and look, it's closed. How unfortunate.
So unfortunately, Berthillon is closed until September, but don't worry. Several other ice cream shops on Ile de la Cité carry Berthillon ice cream as well. They had so many classic and also unique flavors to choose from. I ordered the banana flavor and oh my god, I am still dreaming about that ice cream today. If you are a fan of French beauty products, then you have to visit City Pharma. This pharmacy is 2 stories tall and has hundreds of French beauty and skincare.
Hello everyone, we just left City Pharma and it is wild in there. I do suggest that you make a list of what you want so you know what you want to buy because it's a zoo, okay? It's a zoo, but you can see what we bought. This is what $100 at the City Pharma buys you. And it's me. We are going to the Eiffel Tower right there. Mom and Dad are going to go because obviously they've never been. I have, my brother has, so we're not going to waste our money to get up there, so we're just gonna have a little picnic in Champ de Mars while they go up. So see you. Au revoir. Pro tip number 5. One tip a day. Bring a picnic blanket from home, or I don't know, a bed sheet, whatever, so that when you go to a park, you can have somewhere to sit and enjoy this beautiful greenery in front of the most recognizable place in the world. If you want a picture perfect place to take a photo of the Eiffel Tower, come to Square Wrap.
For our last meal in Paris, we went to Brasserie Flo, which is another restaurant located a couple minutes away from our Airbnb. There was no better place for us to end our trip. The restaurant was lively, the street that it was on was lively, the service was great, and the food was even better.
And we got a pavlova with berries. So pretty. Take a little bit of meringue. Take a little bit of
blackberry or poison
strawberry. And the whipped cream. I think
There's whipped cream.
Nó冇人坐入邊啊，我哋冇人肯坐入邊。
Alright, this is it, guys. We are at the airport waiting to board. Very sad, but it's time to go home. Oh well.